Hey guys, Zephyrnix here, and I know it's been a while since I've actually done a video, but I figured this video needs to be done. I actually ran into this video recently. Oh, before I do that, I know, brand new background, right? This is my office. I need to see the bars, right? Yeah. Anyway, so let me go ahead and start this video anyway. I ran into this guy named Darth Skyba recently, and basically a video that he did on me. Now, in most cases, I would have actually jumped on his ass. You guys know what I do. You know, and believe me, he gives me so much resources in order to do it. Really. Like, I was like, wow, it's like another Christmas present. Like, you should have never done a video. You should never done a video. But in the end, right when I was about to do it, I remember the situation I had with Darth Q-Ball. And the reason why we ran into that big old situation was because Darth Q-Ball, was because I didn't watch Darth Q-Ball's entire video. So I decided to go ahead and learn from my mistake the first time and actually go ahead and watch his whole video. So I watched it, and it seemed that he was more ignorant than anything else. So I decided, instead of making a whole attack video, totally annihilating him, making his wife and his kids hate him and all that, I figured I was just going to go ahead and make a small reply. So let's go ahead and talk about this. First of all, this is what he had a problem with. In my video, the one that I made on Castro, the one where I was extending my hand of friendship, I said this phrase, and I quote, "I need to speak black for a moment. This nigga's something fierce." Now, for some bizarre and absolutely twisted reason, Dark Skyba only focused on one thing that I said, and that was nigga. Now, I have no idea why he decided to focus on that one thing when I actually said a phrase. But anyway, let's go ahead and, look into that for a second. Now, the phrase that I used, before I go into that, he actually said that I was being demeanor towards black people, towards my whole race, just to say one word, which reality was no. I was actually saying a phrase, not a word, and was quite, this is where I get it from. It was quite ignorant of you to think, to not see the whole phrase instead of just sticking on one word. Like, seriously, it kind of just focused on the same exact definition of ignorance. But, okay. So, here's the thing now. He said I was being demeanor towards my whole race. Was it being demeanor? No. The phrase that I used, "this nigga something fierce," means that I have a lot more, this guy is strong. I have a lot more respect for him. That's what it means. And the phrase I use is a common phrase used by black Americans in the Floridian area, especially, I'm in the Daytona area. So yeah, "this nigga something fierce" is something that's used a lot down here. And now, granted, should I have said, have said that word? No. It's not a word that I use. And that's another reason why I said I need to speak black for a moment. Because it's the style of how they speak. It has nothing to do with being demeanor in any way, shape, or form. And that's just common knowledge. I said I usually speak proper English. And that's what I said too in the video, that I used to speak, I need to stop speaking proper English for a second and speak black. Now, by proper English, of course, I mean the English that they teach you in textbooks. You guys know that I don't use slang too often in my videos, or in life for that matter. My wife can testify to that. But it has nothing to do with being demeanor. It's just simple style that black people use. And that's saying that "this nigga something fierce." It's just a style that they use. Castro got it. Why couldn't you? Well, I understand why you couldn't. Because obviously, one of the reasons why is because you're not black. And it's not a bad thing. Well, no. Well, anyway, I ain't going to joke about that. I mean, you're not. I mean, just because, you stick your dick in one doesn't make you black with her. I'm just saying, since you did say your wife was black. I mean, hey, it's just how it rolls, right? There's rules, I guess. Anyway, so let's go ahead and continue. So, yes. But let me ask you something. If what you said is correct, so if I was on the phone with Hellhound 30X, right? And I say, "What's up, mate?" Like that. Am I being demeanor towards Infinite Retro? That's his style of speaking. It might be in demeanor towards the whole, country of Australia. If I was to go ahead and, let's see what else, say Cowabunga, am I being demeanor towards the whole Caucasian residents of California, not to mention, four well-known turtles? Just asking. Am I being demeanor towards every police officer in the world if I yell out the word 10-4? Not to mention truck drivers, cab drivers. Am I? No. It's exactly what it was. Just because it has, and, I had a couple of races there and no races there, just so you can't say, well, this is something different. It's nothing different. It's not even remotely different. It's the same thing. It was absolutely retarded of you. And yeah, was retarded of you, Dark Skyva and Junaid. Well, Junaid's always been retarded. Seriously. Like, that is like the fakest son of a bitch I ever met in my life. But anyway. Yeah. It was absolutely retarded of you to focus on one word instead of the whole phrase. And it was ignorant of you not to know. But like I said, ignorance. Ignorance is, I'm not talking about the bad ignorance. I'm just referring to the ignorance of lack of knowledge. So, I just provided common knowledge for you. Granted, it's not exactly common knowledge, but it works, right? Anyway, to sum up the video, no. I was not being demeanor towards any of my race of any types. I want to comment on something too. I looked on your page. EFEEZ 1986 said this, and I quote, I feel sorry for people like Zephyrnix because he is not comfortable with who he is. I can tell that from his body language and his whole persona. I have no idea where he's coming from. I'm going to assume that, since we're on the theme of ignorance with Dark Skyva, that he's referring to me being black. Understand something, man. I've been black for 31 years and quite damn proud of being black. I enjoy being black. No, seriously. Not only do I have the utmost pride in being black, but I can take a look back at all the black ancestors. I don't even have to go to the ones that are popular and are in the, that we only celebrate on February, but I'm referring to the ones that are only in my family alone. And I can stand up and be proud of all my family members. I can look into my wife and look at her mother and look at her mother's mother and look into her mother, her mother's husband and be proud. Okay? I'm 31 years old, boy. If I'm not comfortable in my own skin by now, I'm probably never going to be. But for the record, I'm quite comfortable being black. In fact, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think I can have this much pride in myself being any other race. Maybe Mexican. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. You guys have a good night. Zeph is out.